Do you think that he should retire?
No. No, I think there's very few, like, you definitely should retire signs, and the doctors are pretty good at those. We were just talking about, a couple before we started. So I think it's more of a, I think you should be going to the best doctors and having honest discussions, and those doctors should be telling him, there's nothing on your scan that tell me you can't play, but the question is, there are risks going forward. Here's what we know, and are those risks worth it for you?
Yeah.
And if he chooses they are, then God bless him, and I wish him the best. But he needs people to be honest with him, and because there's so much speculation in long term, who know, I'm not sure the stories he's getting, but I mean, it's recent. Whoever he just recently saw a few weeks ago mentioned his quote from the podium was, "I was told as a quarterback I'm not at greater risk because I don't take as many hits," and that's not true. Like, I can tell you that's not true. We have another study coming out looking at, exposure by position, and I think almost all, if not all, of our NFL quarterbacks have had it. But B, just being a quarterback doesn't make you safe. The style at which you play matters. The style at which you played until you got to the NFL matters. He's been a running quarterback. He's taken lots of hits. So just the idea that he's like somehow protected because he doesn't get hit in practice is not being fair to him, because he is going to take more blindside hits than anybody else on that field, and we've seen it. And those are going to be bigger magnitude and could have more significance with CT. We just don't know the relationship between number and magnitude and risk.
Yeah. What do you think about recommending retirement?
The other point I'll bring up is that the hits that may matter or may cause concussive injury aren't just the head-to-head. And so for a quarterback like him who is on the run, he's thrown to the ground and he's got the torsional or twisting forces on the body, head, and neck. And so that in and of itself can cause a concussion without actually having head-to-head. So I agree that advice he got, or his interpretation, is probably not accurate. The interesting thing about concussions and long-term outcomes, I think, is how many is too many, and is there a gradient of severity within concussion that actually has some impact on long-term outcomes? It's a hard thing to study because, really what you'd want to do is take one group, not ethically, of course, but one group and concuss them and the other group not, have all other things being equal, and then see how they fare, longitudinally, prospectively, watching them go into college and then go on to, their jobs and careers and how they adjust and succeed and so on and so forth, and measure their cognitive abilities and autopsy them after they pass away. And that would be the ideal gold standard of understanding this thing. But we can't do that ethically, only in animals. And so I think we're left wondering. I mean, there's no real answer to this question of should he play or not. It is a personal decision. For me, I err on the side, I agree with Chris's opinion that let's see what he can do, but don't have misinformation that he's not going to get hit, or be hopeful or blind to the fact that he's going to be thrown to the ground a bunch. He's already, encountered or accumulated a significant exposure. And so it's something he has to continue to think about. And in my opinion, for all of these cases, multiple individual concussions or TBIs of any magnitude and repetitive subconcussive blows, you really need to follow this with baseline and ongoing testing or observation, some type of evaluation to understand if this person's changing, because I think the only real accurate information we have to predict how they're going to be down the road is some stagnant, progressive, long-term problem.